Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, dead people and alive people. And I also have to disclaim, this has nothing to do with the terror attack that was in here in Sweden some time ago. This build here. It was just that I have to use this thing, and I do had a collection of stuff that will work very good together as I tried it out. Lots of saran wrap, lots of plastic pipes, and lots of plastic tubing. So that's why we are going to make a corpse. As you see, it might be a little bit morbid to joke about this after terror attack, but you know what? Fuck that, let's get going. But in all seriousness, terror is really bad.
So, what you need is some pipes, some stiffer hoses, plastic hoses thingy, and some saran wrap, and a skull. So now we're gonna start by actually doing something that might, in some form, look like a rib cage. Because this skeleton is not really atomically correct at all. So the question is, why didn't I just go and buy a big, what do you call it, a skeleton from a Halloween store? Well, I could, but I don't have the money for it. And also I have this stuff around, so let's try it. So, anyway, see, I made a little bit rough shape there, and I put the skull on the rod. Here we have put in all this with zip ties, so you see how they will be. This takes a lot of time. Here's the thing, I started doing this, and it looks kind of good, but then they got quite out of shape. So I had to drill on the side and drew a little bit of a zip tie through them, so it will look more like an actual rib cage, because they kind of bent down. So you see, there we have the collarbone, and now you see I am off camera, unfortunately, making them like that and putting them together. So now we have a little bit of a better rib cage. I cannot really talk. And here we have the other bone, which I don't really know the names of. I should have researched this. But anyway, you know, it's in your arm. You can break them. You can feel them. So they are in your body. Anyway, so now let's, after we have made a little structure, we will draw out the pelvis bone. And you see, I will just very roughly make a shape of it, because they will just poke out. So you see how I will do them there and glue it on the back side, and there it broke, so I had to do it again. Now you see, I've put a little bit in the middle there, and also two CD-ROMs, because I can use other flat plastic to just stiffen these things up. But I have this old. They're gonna be thrown away anyway. So, you see, now we have the pelvis bone there, and we have the legs, and I have wrapped them a little bit. And also I will bubble wrap, I will do this with, to make a little bit more flesh on him. Now you see I have put them on here, other things, so his stomach will not be too, well, you see, nothing when I wrapped him in saran wrap. I have this very big roll of saran wrap here. Use a small one, or two of them, whatever. It's much easier, because this is really heavy and really difficult to do. But you see, and now some little bit of adjustment here. Do this, and then melt it, and then see where do you have missed. Because later in this, we are going to melt this thing, so it will look more stretched in, because it shrinks when it melts. So that is very fantastic for making props like this. And you see, no, we are heating it here, and you see the ice is popping up there. This is a very exciting process, that's why I'm sounding like a sports commentator. Anyway, so you see, just melting all these things together, and work with the mistakes. Use them to your advantage, to this burnt up, mummified, whatever, corpse person thingy. It looks kind of cool, should have put some organ in him. But too bad for that, because he is going to be painted brown. And not because it's a dead black guy, it's because I have brown paint, and some people are brown, I know. Yes, we have black people in Sweden, I promise you that. Anyway, so we don't have just polar bear and white people over here. Anyway, so now, let's see, let's just paint this thing here in brown color, that I do have a lot of also, on top of this lovely woman that I have my knee on, because she was on the advertisement stuff I got for free. So anyway, now we just paint this thing. There is no way but just slamming the thing on and then letting it dry. So you see, I did not make the feet and the arms. William Wakeshare just did a very good on how to make skeleton hands by yourself. Also, this thing does not really need hands for what I'm going to use it for. But I'm going to do hands and feet in an other series of episodes coming up sometime after this here. You see, I'm painting the whole thing here, and also I'm leaving up in the back because also I'm going to hang this in a specific way. So what you will see later when it comes up to. Now we have lighter brown here because we didn't had enough brown on it apparently. So you see, now we're making this whole thing pop here. Some people use white paint, but I think that is a little bit too much. Especially how you are filming it, which I will very soon show. So you see, now we have, it looks very like burnt and dried up and old and nasty. You see, here we have now, you see, it looks like more of a mummy thing now when you have some light on it, so you have the more texturing. And if you put the light, wherever you put it, you will have different effects on it. You can work with that. So now you see we're going to do some little bit on the teeth here to make them pop a little bit more, but not too much. Also, it will look very kind of cartoony. Even though this thing already looks like a really cartoony, nothing is like anatomically correct and anything. So now let's have some black in the eyes there to make it more look, you know, without eyes. Yes. Anyway, now cleaning the teeth a little bit. The dentist is very good to go home. Now, I tried this and it didn't work, but it was a good experiment. Cutting up here and then try to melt it to make it open. It didn't open in a very exciting way, which you will see here. It's just slightly gliding decided, so I probably should have done this before I put paint. So, a little bit of an extra thing here about burning skin and stuff like that, dried up skin. Here we have my ancient goat monster from Kill Team. And you see, this is pantyhoses with latex, and that actually gets a very, very good dried up look. So the question is, why didn't I use that instead? Well, I tried to see if this will look any good. So, that's why maybe we will return to corpses after a little bit of a time passing. But anyway, see you next time.